want to talk about this flower right here. I dug it up over there by the porch where there's a bunch of poison oak growing that I need to pull up. I haven't got around to that project yet. But it was only about 3 or 4 inches tall, and I recognized it as being some kind of flower. It was out of place laying there in the bushes, the grass. Actually, it was kind of in the grass. So I said, I'm going to dig it up and move it and see what it is. I thought it was a butterfly bush. And it's going to be covered with blooms. I have certainly forgot. Take a look at that bloom. Maybe somebody can tell me what it is. Good day, viewers. Pwalpar here. I think I pretty well identified the flower that I asked about in the vlog the other day. The yellow flower with the orange center. And I took a picture of it with my Android camera with Google Lens. It's an app where Google identifies things, and they identified it as an Indian blanket flower. The proper name is Gaillardia Pwalpar, Indian blanket. Native plants of firewheel or Indian blanket is a popular annual growing 1 to 2 feet tall. The hairy stem is usually much branched and becomes woody at the late part of the season. Branched stems, mostly leafy near the base, have showy flower heads and raised red at the base, tipped with yellow, each 3-inch broad at the broad end. The well-known flower heads 1 to 2 inches across with a red center and a yellow outer band. Occasionally the 3 clefts raised are solid orange and yellow. Well, I'd say that's what mine is, solid orange and yellow. Is the Indian blanket a perennial? Well, that other one was an annual. Yes, Indian blanket flower, Gaillardia, can be either a short-lived perennial or an annual, depending on the specific species and growing conditions. In some cases, it may be even self-seed, returning each year. Does the Indian blanket reseed itself? Deadheading encourages a larger bloom time. Indian blankets is an annual plant, reseeding itself each year. Well, it sure reseeded itself right out there in my front yard. I read up on it a while ago a little bit, and it is a little bit toxic to people, but it's a pretty flower, and it can grow in bunches. I wouldn't mind having them growing all the way across around the property. Anyhow, I took some pictures. Anyway, I found out some information about it. Well, Indian blanket flowers spread. Yes, blanket flowers will spread primarily through self-seeding. While they are not considered invasive, their seeds can easily be carried by the wind and spread to other areas, potentially forming large clumps and even blanketing an area. Do deer eat Indian blanket flowers? I could care less. Should I deadhead Indian blanket flowers? Deadhead, I think that means pull the blooms off, but what do I know? Do Indian blanket flowers attract hummingbirds? Yes. Blanket flowers do attract hummingbirds. They are known for their nectar-rich blooms and appearing to humming. Is Indian blanket poisonous to dogs? Nope. How do I keep my Indian flowers blooming? They thrive in sunny. I've only got one, and we got it planted right out there in the garden. How to grow and care for blanket flowers. Whoop-de-doo, we know what I got, a blanket flower. Indian blanket flower, to be more precise. Do butterflies like blanket flowers? Of course. I'll try to save some seeds from my blanket flowers if they produce enough. Next year we just might have a whole row of them booger bears. Can blanket flowers grow in pots? Of course. They are adaptable. What eats blanket flowers? Deer, rabbit, probably squirrels. Anyway, viewers, I pretty well identified what my flower is. See if we can turn this into a little video. Appreciate you listening to Pwalpar, and got my little green thumb working today. We'll catch y'all later.